And the crowd goes wild. Okay, we got the 2005 NFL MVP, all-time leading rusher for the Seahawks, not straight from the draft stage, but here to break it all down. Shaun Alexander, what was that moment like?
Oh, it's really cool because you get the pick like 30 seconds before you go on stage. And so then you've got the long walk and I'm looking and I'm like, am I about to call Jalen's name out? Like I remember when he got to Bama, and so I'm super excited for him. And I know I saw him the first day. He was there to support some of the other teammates, and then he flew home. And so I'm over here, keep your head up. You're about to go to a place, you're going to be in the show. When you get there, you're going to love it. Just be you when you get there. You
Wow.
got the and literally, I'm about to call him on the stage, and so it was great. We got to talk on the phone afterwards. It was a fun time all the way around.
I saw him this weekend. I talked to him. I met him draft weekend as well several times. His parents are the most, I love his parents. And here he is just doing his thing for Panini, looking the part, acting the part. This is a quarterback and he's lighting it up, by the way. I don't know if you're hearing, we're getting the Brett Favre, a lot of oohs and ahs out of rookie minicamp so far.
Yeah, and he's got amazing talent, and we saw with Russell before. Rookie just come in, just be yourself, use your talent, and he ends up winning. So we don't know if Jalen's going to win, but I just don't count people out that's got his character and his look at ball. Like he knows the game itself, but then he has all these extra tools that could make him really be something special. So yeah, it's exciting. We'll see what happens.
I'm, I wanted to start this interview like this, but we got right into Jalen because of that draft pick. This cannot be true. It is 20 years at this time that you were coming off back-to-back Pro Bowls, probably on vacation somewhere before having to go to OTAs, 20 years before that MVP. Isn't that insane?
It is nuts. I'm at a hotel now. My wife and I are just celebrating our 23rd anniversary, and
Oh.
we're coming back tonight. So yes, we've been out here. Just wonderful hotel, by the way, Salomon Resorts. But it's crazy. It is crazy to think that I'm old enough to remember everybody that's coming in, and no one I've played with, or everybody I play with, are now coaches. And so it's nuts. I can't believe the timing, but wouldn't trade it for anything. Watching these young players come and play now, watching the game where it's evolved, watching some of my old teammates. Bobby Ingram, who's like my big brother's the coach with the Commanders, and so we live close to each other. So it's pretty awesome to see, but I can't believe it's been like 20 years since I got down like that.
Absolutely amazing. Back to Milroe now as you're recovering league and you're helping welcome these new guys in. In talking to him, he was just like, I just want to do whatever I can, be part of the team, keep my head down. We all know the Sam Darnold part of this as well, bringing in a guy who had a tremendous season last year for those Vikings. And it seems like he's firmly in place as the starter. Is that the right move? Like it's rookie minicamp, and I think it's already going to be hard to keep him off the field. How should they use him in year one?
I think that you just let him grow. I'm one of those guys that, college, I was redshirted, get to the pros, I sit behind Ricky Waters for a year two, boom. But I also know that if he has the discipline to be the quarterback, and we know he has the talent, and if he can catch on fast enough, you don't let superstars sit too long because they learn not to be the superstars. And so we have a fine quarterback we just brought in, but like I
Mm-hmm.
said, in Sam Darnold, but we've seen this before. We did it with the kid from Green Bay that came in, and we drafted Russell Wilson. And so I'm cool. I think Seattle, I'm pro Seattle all the way. So I think if Sam comes out and balls, then we're great. If Jalen looks like he's taking a nod, we don't have to hesitate on that either. Let's go win. We got a great defense, and it's going to be even better this year. So do what it takes to get in the playoffs and dominate. I believe we were the only team with a winning record not to get into the playoffs last year. So
Ooh.
um, we'll just take another step forward, and we'll be that squad this year.
Yeah, and you're mentioning like obviously like the Flynn. When I think about Flynn, I think like 6 touchdown games. He had a couple of those, and then like you have Russell, and you have to be able to be flexible and make those changes, and like you have to trust your coaching staff. I do think Mike McDonald is that guy. Like he was with the Ravens. He's also seen it. Rookie Lamar was drafted. Like the transition of him to Flacco. Like you kind of have to see you have to be strategic about your future and doing the right thing, but you have to see what's right in front of you too. You can't ignore it for politics or fans or like whatever that might be. The Seahawks, you're saying a step forward. People are sleeping on these Seahawks, I think. And I think the NFC West is a little more open than people think, right? So I'm looking at FanDuel right now. Win total 7.5. They won 10 games last year. What happened here?
I think that sometimes good old Seattle is tucked up in that corner and people forget, but we
Mm,
did it when I was there. There was a little bit of a kind of see also again with that Legion of Boom and all and Marshawn. People were still sleeping on us. Like we were still beating teams up and people didn't see it coming. And then Super Bowl back to back. And then people were like, oh, they're about to fall. They were about to fall for 3 years. Like, so
yeah.
I think that Seattle being tucked up in the corner, the good old Northwest is a really awesome spot to be forgotten. It's terrible for marketing, but it's really good as a team because you can always come in with a chip on your shoulder, and we will. But I promise you this: no one comes to Seattle thinking that they're not going to get punched in the face because that's what it's looking like up in Seattle. So it's going to be great. They're in great position to do well.
Yeah, and I think surprise people and impress people. You're talking about, I mean, this roster, if we look at some of the changes, just from your eyes, a 2005 MVP, new quarterback, new offensive coordinator. What is the change that you think is the most important one, the most impactful one that we've seen?
I think that if Jackson and Cooper take over for DK and Tyler, I think that everybody's going to be like, "What just happened?" Like they're everybody's used to like we've had these three receivers, DK and Tyler, for so long that now that we've got two new bloods, Jackson came in as a rookie and shocked everybody, but he's now the number one, and Cooper is again the most one of the most deadliest number twos in the whole game. you know, um, they're in a position to really be spectacular offensively, and I just think also like their defense is it's a good D. You know what I mean? And
Okay.
I think they're going to play way way better than what everybody imagines.
Are you a Clint Kubiak guy? Should I have faith in Clint Kubiak?
Uh, I think he's going to do it what it takes. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I think he's going to do what it takes.
Talent is
I'm
there.
not I'm not against, but I'm not like, oh, like this is the great, but I think like he's solid and he's going to take a team and he's going to balance it out and they're going to be great.
Because if you look at the roster, you're like, yeah, this offense, like, yeah, let's go. And then it's, he's got to be the right guy for that, right? It's got to, so it's important. It's an important thing to sort of keep your eye on. Speaking of coaching and all
Walker
and
is
the like, oh, sorry.
That's right, because Kenneth Walker is sneaky good. You know what I mean? Like if he's
Yeah.
healthy, just he's a playmaker waiting to happen. And so, I just think you get a person like him, you get these wideouts, you get the quarterback slinging the rock and putting everybody in the right place. Yeah, it's sky's the limit.
And now you have the Raiders. It's like I would never think like, oh, Shaun Alexander's coming on the show. Got to ask him about the Raiders. It's never been in my head. And now it is because you got these Seahawks that sort of reunite this offseason in Coach Pete Carroll, in Geno Smith, toughest quarterback in the NFL, and Ashton Jeanty gets added here. We know Pete loves to run the ball. How do you
Yeah.
feel about Ashton in this offense?
I think Ashton's going to do great. Ashton runs downhill, gets behind his pads, he can break tackles. So like he's going to be great. Pete going to there, he's going to really like what he sees in Ashanti, and he's going to have a lot of fun with that. Ashanti is what you want, an incredibly hard worker. He's going to do all the things he needs, but you see that low center of gravity even on those reps. He
Mm-hmm.
goes and makes plays, and then you get Gino there. You've got Brock Bowers, who won the freshman player of the year. So I've known this kid since he was like 18, 19 years old. Like it's wild watching people grow up and see them still put there. So that I know that Pete's got the nucleus of what he wants, a bunch of tough nosed guys that are all willing to do what it takes to go be the best. You got a bell cow in Shante, so he's in a good situation.
Uh, it's wild because I was thinking like Pete Carroll, tenured veteran OG. I was with these rookies this weekend at the rookie premiere, and they've never heard of Jerry Maguire. You know, like it was a huge thing for me that they've never even heard of it. And it's like Cuba
Yeah.
Good, like, hello, what, Tom Cruise? They're
Yeah.
like, oh, we know who Tom Cruise is. Like, yeah, yeah. They have no
Like the
idea.
Mission
And then it's like,
Impossible.
yeah, kind of. But they were not even, it just wasn't like the fact that they've never heard of Jerry Maguire. And I was like, gosh, and I feel so tenured then.
Mhm.
And then I think about Pete Carroll having to relate to an Ashton Jeanty, and somehow it works. And I just give him so much credit for that because I'm like, I can hardly relate. And it's just, it's a thing. It's a thing to think about, I think.
Yeah, Pete's so wild because when I first think of he was the coach of the New England Patriots before Belichick, but after Bill Parcells. So when you're between Parcells and Belichick, and you're like, who was that coach? It's Pete Carroll. You're like, you've been coaching this thing for a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's still there just grinding it out, relating with the players. I knew the guys in Seattle loved him. They loved his open flow, and he ran the
Hmm.
mess out of the guys, and he pulled that championship attitude. And what I hear is he's doing the same thing down in Las Vegas.
It's like the energy I think that he has that everyone seems to talk about, and like young players have energy, and so what more can you relate to that? It's so crazy that you're saying that about Pete in New England because I had Drew Bledsoe on last week, and we were talking about obviously the nuttiness and the toughness of he actually hated playing for Parcells. It sounds like when we were talking, and just like the Pete Carroll experience after that, it was crazy for me doing my research for that interview. Like Pete Carroll, he was the dude. Like it was. It's a history lesson, and it's amazing to sort of think about. Now with Ashton Jeanty, here's I had him on my show like a month before the draft, and he was, I don't know if you've seen like his stance from college where he like
Yeah.
stands straight. Have you seen
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
So he was adamant, Shaun, convicted. I'm going to keep this. No coach is going to get me to change this in the NFL. This is how I do it. It's who I am. And then I see these clips from all the rookie workouts and minicamp, and he's not standing straight. And I'm like, oh no, he's changed. He's broke. He's whatever. So I saw him at rookie minicamp. Here's what he had to say about it. Look.
Man, Chip Kelly, he comes up to me the first day of rookie minicamp. He like, you play basketball? Like, you ever play basketball? I'm like, yeah, I play basketball. Like, I could dunk, all that. He's like, okay. He was like, show me how you would guard me. Like, and he acting like he holding the ball.
Let's do this. Get up.
He like, show me how you guard me. He holding the ball. Like, act like you holding the ball.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Then I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Like, I'm, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was like, that's exactly why you got to be down in your running back stance.
No, you're so convicted.
I was,
And
but
then he won?
uh,
Just like that? That's all it took?
he won for now. I'm going to try to persuade him one day.
Shaun, I don't like it. What do you think?
You know what? You want to take every tip and every advantage as a running back. And so if it makes him better, then he'll do it. And because Ashanti's coachable, he's going to be like, all right, well, let me see if this actually makes me a little bit better. And if he doesn't, then they stand up because just like a player wants to take every tip and manage to make himself better, every coach wants their player to be what they need to be to play great. So I know that Chip and Peter the same way about that. They're like, yeah, hey, do what you need to do. I think Bending would probably be a little bit better because he can hide behind people a little bit better. And sometimes when you're standing tall, the defensive people can see what you're doing, and you might be able to tip
Yeah.
some things. And so so I think Bending's better.
it's it's such an you're right. I just don't I thought he was going to do it and be the one to do it. Okay, he's the favorite for offensive rookie of the year. Are we into that? That means, the over under right now is 1,075.5 yards. What would you do with that?
Yeah, I think that he's got a chance because he's going to get the ball and he's going to have all the times. I think Cam, of course, quarterbacks always have a shot at
Yeah.
winning if they win. I like Travion Henderson and Quinshawn Junkin, the two run Ohio State boys. Quinshawn was one of my freshman player of the year guys that I got to get close with, and those boys both play. Travion's with Najee, so that's going to be an issue. Like he'll never get the carries, but Quinshawn's got a shot to just low key turn around and hand him the ball and actually take the thing over a little bit because he's got that kind of. I've always thought he's had better NBA or better NFL talent than NCAA talent. and some guys you get like that where they're good in college, but like something greater shows up when they get to the pros. I feel like he's got that kind of game. So Quishan could be the best rookie running back if Ashante doesn't, you know. Oh man, he is like that dude. He you know, the Texas loves him because he can play DN, outside linebacker, play middle linebacker. He blitzes, he can also cover. They just love him. I thought he was great. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was the hardest picking that me and all the guys had because it's not just offense, it's not just defense, it's overall not only player, but then, you know, how what they are to their team. And between him and Jeremiah Smith, that was the closest we ever had. I think it was like down to like, you know, we do by percentages and points and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone we kept picking Colin, is this right? And everybody's like, we'll know when this thing is all said and done that we have picked, you know, for the seventh time, an amazing guy to rep this award, and we know we got it right. He's going to be that dude. You know, he's a killer.
You know what you're doing because you picked Brock Bowers. You guys have picked Will Anderson, Trevor Lawrence, Drake May. Like these are guys who are making their way in studs in the league. So congratulations to him with the Shaun Alexander Freshman Player of the Year award. Last one for you. There were rumors over the weekend that Saquon was going to be the next Madden cover guy. I guess it's not real. That's what I'm seeing. As the face of Madden '07, Shaun, who deserves to be on the next cover?
Man, you know, I think Saquon did it all. Like, so, like, I try to tell people, like, you know, man, like, you get an opportunity like that, like, you should take it. Everyone's like, what about the Madden curse? I'm like, you know, there's 32 teams, 64 between running back and quarterback. There's 64 players. 50 of them are going to get hurt. You know, you just know the truth. 50 guys are not going to play in every game. And so if that's the case, what do? You just play the game. And so I'm like, man, don't worry about any other curses. Go ball. It is one of the greatest honors that you'll have. I still laugh today when I think of my nephews. They'd be like, oh, you know, Uncle Shaun, you were on the cover of Madden. I was like, I won the MVP. I played. We played in the first Seahawks Super Bowl. Like, you know, I know,
Yeah.
but you was on Madden. I was
For
like,
Madden,
okay.
that makes you legit. I mean, it's iconic and does make you legit. Shaun, go enjoy. Enough with football. Go enjoy some. I don't even know what you're doing today. Like, are we horseback riding? Maybe we're having like a romantic stroll. What did you say? 23 years? What?
Years, 23 years, 12 kids, no twins. A lot of fun, you know what I mean? So yeah, so we're there's horses out here and hiking, and it's got the
God,
whole nine.
12 children and we have to have another interview. That is insane. Maybe a 13th on the way on this anniversary. We love you, Shaun
Oh,
Alexander.
oh.
You are the best. Talk to you soon. Thank you.